Hi, y'all. Kendall Carpenter, Bunnyfoot Pottery in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm coming to you with my 13th kiln reveal today, my lucky 13, and I don't have very many things to show you, but I hope you will find them interesting. I have a update on my January school community project, and also some of these pieces are going to be my second chance glaze. And finally, I'm going to talk about my resolution not to buy any more clays in 2026. So I'm going to advise you that everything you're going to see today is on a cone 6 stoneware buffed clay from Mammoth Plain, Oklahoma City. So the first thing I'm going to show you, I think turned out so sweet, a little Valentine mug. This is coyote oatmeal poured on the inside and brought around on the rim. Then I used coyote fairy rose 2 times on the body. And then I hand painted little hearts and this little stripe with coyote cherry satin. So freehand for me, which is not my strong suit, but I think it turned out pretty sweet. And the next mug that I'm going to show you is one of my second chance glaze projects. I'm pretty happy with it. My second chance glaze in this instance is Amaco Blue Rutile. I have a whole row of Amaco glazes up high on my glaze shelf, and I just don't reach for them very often. And this was, and it had been at least 5 months, maybe longer, since I'd used any blue rutile. So what I did on the inside of this is I poured Amaco Cirrus Flow. And then this is also Cirrus Flow 2 times on these top and middle section. Then I did blue rutile 3 times here on the bottom. And this is just above clay. So I really thought 3 coats would give me more coverage. And that was also in the handle, blue rutile. So what I did here is 2 times Muddy Waters. And I do like what Muddy Waters did on top of that Cirrus Flow. And I think altogether, it's a very lovely mug. And it says, Boat Love in the handle, one of my daughter's sayings. So it's a very nice mug. It's very comfortable. I like it. Jury's still out on my experience with blue rutile on this mug. And for the school challenge for January, we were either supposed to make some kind of an oil burner or an incense burner. Well, I chose incense burner because it seemed easier. And I don't burn incense. I don't have incense or a stick. So I basically made a ring dish with a deeper hole there. So it's fine, and I think somebody could burn a stick of incense in it. And this is one single glaze. This is Coyote Phoenix Egg, brushed 2 times. And I think it's very pretty. But my impression of this glaze is it's sort of a light version of Albany Slip Brown. Pretty much just not the same intensity of color. So there's my school project for January. And I really like this next mug that I made because it's the first time that I've tried to make this more bowl-like cappuccino shape. This is really pretty. So what this is Coyote Baby Blue Satin poured on the inside. It is such a pretty color. And then it's also Mayco Capri Blue everywhere on the outside. And that was 2 coats of Mayco Capri Blue. Then on the body of the mug, I covered it with 2 times Desert Dusk. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Has a little bit of shine to it, but it's very satiny, and I think it's gorgeous. And the 4th mug I'm going to show you is another one of my second chance glaze projects. So the inside is my coyote corn silk poured as a liner. And then on the outside, all over the outside, is 3 times Mayco fossil rock. And that was one of my first glazes I ever bought, and it's probably been a year since I used it. And then over the fossil rock is 2 times Desert Dusk. So why do I like it better today? Maybe I've just gotten that much better. I looked back in my records, and when I've used it before, they were just really wonky pieces. So maybe I'm going to give this one some more chances. Linda, if you don't have this one, I'm going to recommend it to you. My first impression when I was really giving this mug a once over is, oh, I bet Linda could do some wonderful things with this fossil rock glaze. So there we go. Now, I just made a little spoon rest. I ended up with a little blob of clay, and I had a drawer pull that's a bee that I pressed into it. So first of all, yeah, it sort of looks like a bee, but it's not great. And this spoon rest only has 1 glaze on it, and it's 2 times coyote unicorn horn. It's broken some creamy yellow here in the edges, and it covered pretty well. But I mean, I'm not in love with this glaze. If you've had good luck with unicorn horn, let me know. I'm sure it's fine layered with other things, but on its own, it's a little ho-hum, or I don't get a buzz out of it. All right. So the last mug I have to show you are new glazes. So I'm tipping my hand. I broke my resolution. So this mug has 2 new glazes on it. The inside is not new. That's Spectrum Tiger I poured, which is lovely. And then on the handle and from the top to this point is Coyote Leopard Shino. Really, really pretty. And then covering that, and then on its own here is Amaco Palladium, and which it makes a metallic finish. So it's pretty much not metallic over the Leopard Shino, but it just gobbled up the Leopard Shino and overpowered it. Then what I did on this very lowest edge is I used the new Amaco Cosmic Gold Dust. And I'll show a picture of it outside. You can sort of see the shimmer, but the underlying tone, the dark tone, is very similar to that Palladium. So I've been trying to make a few more mugs that might appeal to a man at the coffee shop, gift shop that's retailing my pieces. I wanted to be able to appeal to their men shoppers as well. All right, so that's all that came out of the glaze kiln this week. I have quite a few things in process, but you have heard me say for many weeks about my Cone 6 buff from Mammoth Clay in Oklahoma City, and it's a lovely clay and very easily available to me here in Tulsa. But I ran across information about a clay company called Kansas Clay Company. You know, Kansas is right on top of Oklahoma for you people who are international. And I did find that they had a distributor in Springdale, Arkansas, which is 2 hours from Tulsa, and very near where my dear friend lives in Fayetteville. So I called her up and I said, I'm coming to see you because I need to go try this clay. And we were very happy to see each other. So I went to the clay bank in Springdale, Arkansas, and met an amazing older gentleman. He's not elderly, but a very experienced potter named Gailen Hudson. And if you are in Northwest Arkansas, chances are you are his customer. I know that Healing Earth Ceramics, he said, was his customer. So he does have this Kansas clay. He didn't have everything in stock, but he had two of them that I wanted. So I got their buff clay and I got their brown clay called Wheat. And I've used both of those this week. I'm very anxious to get the bisque back. So in the next kiln reveal or two, you'll be seeing my pieces from the Kansas Clay Company. In addition, he sells a black clay from Barcelona, Spain, which I also bought. It's like a 27-pound box, and it's SIO-2PRNI. And I looked it up online. You can also get it at Dick Blick. I have not opened that package yet, and I will. And one of the reasons I will is we are about to have a major snowstorm here in Tulsa. We've had several days notice. It's going to hit Saturday afternoon. And my son-in-law, who's a meteorologist, says it might actually break our January record for snowfall. So everybody's been at the grocery store, everybody's gassed up their cars, and we're just sitting here on a 50-degree day waiting for it to get to zero. But it's January and it's Oklahoma, so that's what we get here. I do have a little video from my trip to the clay bank that I'm going to tack onto the end of this. But Mr. Hudson, I just wanted to share a little bit of his statement on his website. He says, manipulating clay is a most therapeutic activity to calm the soul and bring a refreshing to the human spirit. This is why I like to use my hands to form clay. It is calming and it gives me a gentler approach to life. I use a potter's wheel to make most of my forms, but also use hand building techniques to create the forms and assemble them. My work is influenced by many others with whom I have admiration for their skills and insights. But I also look to other cultures with their values, materials, and technology to find a new outlook for the creative process. And that really sums up our YouTube community. We're worldwide. We're all the same. And we just love each other and support each other and share ideas and creativity. It's just wonderful. And I did purchase 3 of his smaller pieces, and these are, I'm going to use as succulent pots. And he actually dug this clay. This is local clay that he's found in the area. And I love this little dish. You'll remember from my previous video, I talked about Frankoma pottery and showed some examples. And this is an example. And I asked him, did you use the cap of a pen to do this treatment, this texture on the edge? And he laughed. He said, no, I took the metal coil out of a school spiral and stepped on it and flattened it. So there's a tip from Gailen. Step on your spiral notebook and use it for texture. I just love it. So to wrap up, I want to say hello to my 467 subscribers. That number's climbing up every day, and I'm so close to 500. If you're watching and you enjoy my videos, go ahead and subscribe. It would just really help my channel, and it would mean a lot to me. And if you want to leave me a comment, I promise you I'll write you back. I really cherish your comments. So regarding my New Year's resolution, we had a lot of fun with people encouraging me and fessing up to their glaze addictions. I had one viewer admitted to having 400 and one admitted to having 500. So I feel like a sophomore compared to them. But I lasted 13 days, and I had 4 people guess between 14 and 16 days. So the shared prize goes to Karen at Bearhead Pottery, and Angela at AP Pottery, and Kay at Mud Souls, and our wonderful viewer Gwen. So you all were pretty close, and I did buy those new glazes at the clay bank when I was there buying clay. You know, I was there in a shop that sold glaze. I couldn't resist it. That is it for now. I hope you all, if you're in an area that is going to be hit by this storm, please stay safe. If you're in Australia, Tasmania, New Zealand, somewhere that it's summertime for you, aren't you the lucky ones? You know, it's very strange to be on opposite sides of the weather patterns here, but that's okay. That's okay. Everything's going to be fine, and we will make it through this storm. And I will see you on the other side of it. Bye-bye. Hi, y'all. Kendall Carpenter, Bunnyfoot Pottery in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's January 13th, and I am in Springdale, Arkansas. And they have a pottery store here called the Clay Bank. And they sell a kind of clay that I've been wanting to try. It's made by Kansas Clay Company. And I'm here visiting with my friend Michelle. And I've just had the most interesting visit with this gentleman who has been a potter for decades. I'll give you some more information when I'm home, and it'll be easier to do. But he has a shop down the ways a little bit, and I've just bought 3 of his pieces. They're phenomenal. He uses local clay that he digs himself. And gosh, just in the hour I've been here, I've learned so much from him. But it's the Clay Bank. It's the Clay Bank, and it's in Springdale, Arkansas. I'm going to piece together a video to show you more. See y'all. Bye-bye.
Local clay that I dig and I blend is a clay body. This is a clay from Chester, Arkansas that I dig and left the rock in it.
Oh, wow.
That's clay straight out of the ground. Wedge it and throw it.
Did you biscuit and then fire it again?
I biscuit, yeah. And so I just do, I test local clays. This is a gradation of clay from Girard, Kansas, and wood ashes out of my stove. And so that's a grade 10% gradations for that.
Wow.
These are my glaze books.
You just see us 14 glaze books.
That's each glaze book.
Oh my word.
These are all glazes that I've collected over the last 40 years. So I'm just a little hobby. And
that's remarkable.
Stuff, so
wow.
nice.
I'm very impressed. And what this is so this chicken here, is this has this been bisqued yet, or
No,
it's
still
just
drying.
Still drying?
I just finished it a couple of days ago.
That is gorgeous.
And it's a little chicken bank.
So do you have a market where you sell?
No, my wife and I are opening this little gallery down here. And the galleries I used to be in all closed due to COVID. And so pulled everything out, and I've not sold too much. I don't market myself very well for pottery, but I just make stuff, and so we're starting to get more into marketing of this stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to do a quick little spin around this glaze shop.
No, I collect clays and process them and use them, and for local materials, and so that's what I've got a lot of. That's the reason why I have so much messy, because I collect stuff and process it and do different versions.
So how many kilns do you have? It looks like 3 kilns?
4 kilns back there, or 5 kilns back there, and I have 6 raku kilns next door.
Wow.
So when I do the raku workshops, I'll bring out these 5 kilns and run them for the day for the workshop.
I'll need to get on your mailing list.
Sure.